Sunday's explosive report has truly rocked the Labour Party to its core. Starmer finds himself ensnared in serious troubles, and the party's situation is far from the stability everyone had hoped for. We're about to delve into this major revelation that has the Labour leader scrambling for answers. Brace yourselves, this is a genuine sensation. If you thought Starmer's public appearance at PMQ headquarters was a disaster, just wait until you hear what's unfolding within the Labour Party. This isn't merely an effort to mitigate the damage, it's a full-blown panic that has gripped everyone. With each ill-timed response, they only exacerbate the situation, raising the question, how many more blunders can occur before the party plunges into chaos? The atmosphere at Labour headquarters is nothing short of chaotic. Staff members are darting around in a frantic bid to formulate some sort of coordinated response. Yet, every attempt to manage this crisis seems to lead to even more severe repercussions, and it feels like the path out of this turmoil is slipping further from reach.
Is our Prime Minister actually our Prime Minister? Because so far, he seems obsessed with serving everyone else apart from the British public. Do you remember when he kept saying this?
I say to you directly, my government will serve you. Politics can be a force for good. We will show that. We've changed the Labour Party, returned it to service, and that is how we will govern. Country first, party second.
Country first, okay? Well, what have we had? Well, it looks like he might be about to give away the Elgin marbles to keep the Greeks happy. He's already given away the Chagos Islands to keep the Chinese happy, which apparently included a deal to allow a load of Sri Lankans who might be sex criminals into Britain as well.
It's like witnessing a car crash in slow motion. You can't tear your eyes away, yet you know it's bound to end in catastrophe. The real issue, however, is that no one seems to grasp the gravity of the situation. One Labour Party representative confidently asserts that the accusations are entirely unfounded. Then another, seemingly in a state of panic, concedes that mistakes were made, but quickly tries to defend himself by claiming their statements were taken out of context. It's utter chaos, and the situation is deteriorating by the minute. Political commentators are left astounded by this crisis. One analyst wryly noted, "I've seen more organized responses in a kindergarten during snack time." But can you really blame them?
The Reverend Starmer has announced his reset, which must not be called that, but something else. For what is in a name, that which we call a reset, by any other name would smell as sweet. Well, it's been merely 5 months of his premiership, and it is already clear he has fated to be one of the worst leaders in modern British history. He has no ideas, no originality, and no inspiration. But at least he has his amazing charisma.
3, 2, 1. Yay! It worked. Nervous moment there.
Is there a more boring way of pronouncing the word three? Well, if there is, you must tell Sir Keir Starmer.
Labour's communication strategy, if it can even be called that, appears to be in complete disarray. The situation is worsened by the recent staff turnover within the party, which is starting to impact their effectiveness. With so many new faces in the public relations team, their inexperience in handling a crisis of this scale is glaringly apparent. But what truly alarms Labour is the possibility that this is just the tip of the iceberg. Rumours are circulating in Westminster that even more damaging information could emerge in the days ahead. Each time an employee's phone rings, you can see the panic and anxiety in their eyes. What new scandal might be about to erupt? It's becoming increasingly clear that the Labour Party is not only struggling to manage the situation, they are teetering on the brink of disaster.
Maybe mend some fences between this government and the incoming presidency of Donald Trump's, given that the whole of his cabinet have been so rude about him over the last few years.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see the honourable member making a rare appearance back here in Britain. He spent so much time in America recently. I was half expecting to see him on the immigration statistics when we see the next batch. But he may have missed. I did congratulate the incoming president last week.
This move has significantly weakened Starmer's authority, leaving him teetering on the brink. Each day, calls for his resignation grow louder and more urgent. Local Conservative Party associations are vehemently accusing Labour of completely neglecting the needs of residents and local interests. Their harsh criticisms resonate with voters who are increasingly sceptical of Starmer's leadership. The scandal is swiftly eroding the Labour Party's credibility. Undecided voters are starting to drift away, and even long-time supporters are beginning to question their loyalty, as if their faith in the party is fraying. If Starmer cannot quickly turn the situation around, Labour risks facing a devastating electoral defeat. The pressing question now is whether any influential figures will be able to distance themselves from the party before it ultimately collapses. Cracks are starting to show in the party's united front, and rumours of potential splits are spreading behind closed doors, eager to take advantage of his downfall. Some prominent voices in British politics are now openly calling for his immediate resignation, intensifying the pressure on him. As external forces mount, Labour is confronting a profound crisis that threatens its very existence, with internal divisions beginning to emerge among various factions.
He said that he wouldn't let Britain pay reparations. Then he ended up discussing reparations to keep the Commonwealth nations happy. He said he wouldn't put your energy bills up. Well, they have gone up, and they're going to go up again. And now we're giving away billions of pounds in climate change reparations to keep people like India happy. Shock horror, they're not happy, and they want more of our money. He won a load of votes in rural constituencies at the last election, then shafted British farmers, simultaneously giving away about £500 million in foreign aid to foreign farmers. So he seems to care more about them than the people in this country who actually...
They are frantically trying to contain this explosive leak, but it's akin to trying to seal a dam with chewing gum. The pressing question is, how long can this continue before significant changes take place? Will we witness mass resignations? Will leadership issues arise? Or will the party attempt to navigate through the turmoil and ride out the storm? One thing is certain, opposition parties are reveling in this chaos, poised to exploit Labour's moment of vulnerability. As Labour grapples with its challenges, its rivals are sharpening their knives, like predators ready to pounce. Starmer and his team must regroup, as this political storm is far from over. The pressure on Starmer is building like an avalanche, and his political adversaries are seizing the opportunity presented by the scandal, calling for his resignation at every turn. The opposition has lunged at this chance like a hungry wolf at its prey. Conservative Party leaders are openly accusing Starmer of failing to address key voter concerns, expressing their outrage and persistently demanding his resignation. But it's not just the Tories who are targeting Starmer. The situation took a dramatic turn when a Labour council member, disillusioned with the leadership, defected to the Conservative Party, casting a shadow over an already precarious situation. So,
I got called by the Speaker to ask a question in PMQs. Well, the Prime Minister was not going to answer my direct question in any way at all, and all those Labour MPs screaming and shouting at me, gosh, it felt like being back in the European Parliament. I really rather enjoyed it. But the serious point, of course, and he's right, that with a population that has exploded over the course of the last few years, the previous government did not build enough prison places. But the whole question of early release, I mean, what is the point of a sentence if people are let out after only serving 40% of it? One of the people released from one of the northern prisons yesterday had, wait for it, 109 previous convictions. So that person, I would say, is...
Starmer's leadership seems more vulnerable than ever, and it's becoming increasingly clear that his time in office may be running out. The days ahead will be crucial, not only for him, but for the entire Labour Party, which is now teetering on the edge of collapse. Chaos prevails within the party, and Keir Starmer's leadership is under relentless scrutiny. The once unified front is quickly disintegrating like a house of cards, as various factions within the party take advantage of the situation to enhance their influence. The gap between Starmer's supporters and detractors is widening each day, fostering an atmosphere of tension and discontent. I've heard some concerning comments from Labour Party members. One senior figure openly admitted that the anxiety surrounding the future under Starmer's leadership is becoming increasingly palpable. Some are starting to seriously doubt his ability to unify the party and push through his policies. What's particularly notable is how rapidly Starmer's allies are beginning to distance themselves from him. Those who were once his loyal supporters, just days ago, are now trying to step back. There is real uncertainty about Starmer's effectiveness as a leader, and the situation is becoming more confusing and alarming. As his support wanes, other ambitious individuals within the Labour Party are eyeing the opportunity to seize power. Conversations about potential leadership challenges are circulating, with several names already mentioned as possible successors. It's uncertain who will make the first move and what impact that will have on the party's future. Tension is palpable, and each new day brings fresh challenges that could be the tipping point for Starmer. Share your thoughts in the comments, and see you later.